Mark, what was it like waiting for that final decision on the review?
Yeah, that was a long review. There would have been a lot of questions if that would have been touchdowns, put that way. I thought our guys battled through a few of those. A couple more injuries, a couple let's call them situations that were very questionable that happened, and guys just drove on excellent defense in the fourth quarter in their stadium down and stared it right in the face.
What really changed for your offense in the fourth quarter? What were you guys doing more effectively in terms of execution?
The first half, I thought we let one slip in the first half, just of how we talked all week. Utah had not been a great starting team, and they weren't really tonight, and we didn't take advantage of that, and I was a little worried about that. When it was 7-3, and they hit really the reverse, and nothing really sustained or something that we couldn't adjust to. But the big play got us. But just to stick with how the year's gone, and again how this game went in a lot of ways with some of the injuries. That's a big time effort to close that out, and really probably sparked a lot by the defense and getting some 3 and outs and some big time stops there late in the third and early in the fourth quarter.
A win like that mean to your team?
Well, it's big. We talked about for us, and then also we want to be in that locker room where quote unquote goes on the line here in the coming years, and just talked about that from both angles. Just can't say enough for how those guys have stuck together throughout the season. And again today, there was a bunch of times where I could have been here we go again in a heartbeat. So very proud of that.
Mark, what are you talking about going from off the field?
They told me that replay overturned it, that they called it a touchback, and blew the whistle. The rule is a clear immediate recovery. Recovery that is neither clear or immediate, and replay called it.
How tough is that to get the momentum back, and how much credit you get against their defense?
Yeah, big time. He had. I don't know if you guys remember, Joe Montana in the playoffs had this bursitis thing that was like drilling out of his elbow. That's basically how his hand looked today, and they took some shots from a very good defense, and I thought he responded great. I thought the O-line competed the whole day, and just had a little next play mentality better in the last couple of weeks against some very good fronts. Obviously, good to see that response.
Can you discuss the last play, Darren? I mean, that's almost like the Colorado play, or both of them, that won it for them.
Yeah. I think it was a situation where we had there's basically there are kind of no options on that play. There's sometimes where we have verticals where guys can stop, and that was one of them. They can't. We just don't know in a situation like in that type of field position where there's hesitation on anybody's part. And so basically, if the quarterback has any kind of doubt or any hesitation, is throw it to the back pylon, and that's what.
You talked earlier this week about how you wanted to see a complete game out of this team. How close do you think this was to being your most complete game this season?
It's closer. It's closer. It's certainly the opponent and the venue. I can't remember exactly what it was at halftime. It was pretty much a wash, just in terms of yardage, and with the exception of the reverse, I thought we played a lot more solid on defense. And so you never know exactly what's going through their mind in a game like this. But I'm not apologizing anymore.
What's that conversation like when someone upstairs is telling you that's a touchdown? Is that where you got it, or
On the very last
play?
Yeah, yes. They said they saw that one clean, and a lot of the other ones they didn't have replay apparently on them. Maybe you guys did or didn't. And we weren't going to run the next play without calling the timeout or making certain.
What sort of led to this sort of game for you guys, considering the last 2 weeks and not going to a bowl game and so forth? What was it like in practice this week? Was there some leaders to stand up, or did you say some different things? Or clearly this was a game that a lot of people didn't really see coming.
I think again, there's all credit all those guys in that room over there, we haven't had that good practice. That's where it's been so frustrating about this deal is, and we had a couple things today that, Dylan Mitchell's going to make a ton of plays. We saw one, but we've never practiced that. We've never practiced the try to grab it, roll running backwards, and run through the back of the end zone. We had, gave up one on a coverage situation. So there's, just again a matter of trusting how we train and seeing that come to fruition against a team like this is big.
John Neal is outside for those that want to talk to him.
What did you see on the targeting call with Nelson, and do you know if it is, if it isn't, and then losing him with special teams and offense in the first half, how big of a deal is that?
It's huge. Huge. And again, credit to our guys. Our coaches adjusting on the fly. We're down so many guys. I saw his shoulder hit the guy in the chest. Clearly he moved his head out of the way to not hit his head. And then on the one that was overturned, I saw the helmet hit the face mask, which I'm pretty sure that's in the head or neck area, and not a medical doctor.
You're talking about the one they had overturned at the end?
Overturned, so the officials,
is it more impression though that they can review it and then they come back after a review and they still, if you see it on a review and then that make it more difficult knowing that it's not just kind of a one-time call, but they looked at it again?
It was interesting. The officials on the field I thought were excellent. There were calls both ways, and their interpretation. That's such a bang deal. But again, when a helmet hits a face mask first and it's called and it's overturned, I would have to have an explanation of how that is.
Mark, you started the week with Taco K on the radio talking about your job. In the middle of it, you have reports about player off the field stuff. You end it with win over the 11th ranked team. Can you take us some kind of swing of emotions of this week and how good this must feel?
Yeah, and that's the nature of the beast. There'll be probably 80% still hate me, and there's 10% love and 10%. 10% that'll love you regardless, 10% that'll hate you regardless, and 80% swim vote. But can be proud of those guys and how they battled through all this. It's the nature of the business.
Was there any weapon? You lose a weapon in the second half with Nelson. What effect does that have on the receiving corps? And what's the rule? Did he have to sit out for the first 5 games?
No, I just in this game. Since he was in the first half, it was big. He does so many things for us in special teams, and offense, and we're down so many guys at those positions. It was significant. The guys stepped up.
Was there any thought that you wouldn't have Darren today based on what's been towards that game last week?
No.
Mark, at different times in the final drive, you had 8 and 9 freshmen or redshirt freshmen on the field in that drive. How much did they mature by this time?
That's what we absolutely need to do. And hopefully this is a compilation of, in all these other games, at SC we had a guy get beat early and that's in his head for the rest of the game, and that affects the quarterback obviously. Then the left guard does it, and the right guard, and the right tackle, and they all had their little one series mind melds, and again, to stand up to that front, and they know that we have to throw it, and be able to do that is significant. Doesn't mean anything if we can't do it again, replicate it, and improve. So hopefully they'll take that the right way.
Mark, you made a reference to it. It was left elbow, Herbert?
It was left hand.
Left hand or elbow? Hand, I'm sorry.
Joe Montana's elbow.
Can you just expand on him? That clutch third down scramble, there was a penalty on the play, probably still would have got it, but it seemed like this was really more of a coming out period for this kid as opposed to the previous 2 great games he had.
Yeah, I think, again, his biggest transitional period or biggest period of development he needs an off season of football, and he's been a multi-sport guy, never really focusing on much, but he's been really good at it, and that's why he did all those things from a mental standpoint, from a physical standpoint, maturing in all those ways will benefit him greatly.
Troy Dye is out here.
Mark, you talked about the front of the game. They had 2 quick sacks in the first half. Was your plan going in to move the pocket?
We had some stuff in to move the pocket. We had some stuff in to help out the line. We had some stuff in obviously to get the ball out quickly, and that's a key. You got to change it up. Some of these teams that just have a spot drop basically for the quarterback. That guy can get after you.
This is a tough place to play, that's a good team. You always deflect and say it's those guys, but how does it feel for you? I mean, is that a satisfying thing to get a result by those?
Sure. Yeah, I mean, again, we gotta keep going. We gotta clean up the locker room. We gotta handle our business tonight, handle it, going forward, and that's an ongoing thing. Never a second when it's over. He's not available yet.
Thanks.
Congrats.
Is anyone coming in here? I don't know. I just thought that. I knew you were somebody was going to ask me. I'm just going to say I don't know. If you guys out there asking. Okay.